Hi students, today our new lesson motion in a plane. Okay, motion in a plane. So here plane in the sense two dimensional, space in the sense three dimensional. Already we discussed motion is straight line. That means one dimensional motion is over. In this one dimensional motion, we already discussed displacement, velocity, acceleration, kinematic equations, all are we explain. To understanding motion in a plane, that means two-dimensional motions and three-dimensional motions, mainly required one is vectors. Required one is vector concept is most important. Okay, vector concept is most important. Okay, now first one is measurable quantities are called physical quantities. Okay, measurable quantities are called as physical quantities. Measurable quantities called as physical quantities. Most of the physical quantities are classified into two types. Okay, most of the physical quantities are classified into two types. One is scalar. Okay, one is vectors. Most of the physical quantities, most of the physical quantities classified into two types. One is scalar, another one is vector. Some of the physical quantities are scalars, some of the physical quantities are vectors. Okay, first our topic is scalars. Present our topic is scalars. Okay, physical quantities, some physical quantities having only magnitude, there is no direction. Okay, so some of the physical quantities having only magnitude, having only magnitude, there is no specified direction. Understood? Okay, example for that one, example, mass, volume, okay, speed, etc. Understood? Mass, volume, speed, density. These are scalar quantities. These are scalar quantities. That means these are having only magnitude. There is no specified direction. There is no specified direction. Understood? Okay. See here, to describe a scalar quantity, we require two main quantities. One is the specific unit of that quantity. Okay, that the specific unit of that quantity. Second one is the number of times that unit is contained in that quantity. That means, for example, 100 kg rice. Okay, that means mass. Okay, weight of that one body or weight of the rice packet is 100 kg. Okay, example, weight of the rice packet, that means mass. Okay, here kg represents the unit, first part. Okay, the specific unit of that quantity, here kg represents the unit. At the same time, next 100, what is 100 here? The number of times that unit, okay, is contained in that quantity. That means here 100 times this unit contained in that quantity, means here I consider rice pack. Okay, I consider rice pack. Okay, so here first point is not required because of some of the physical quantities are not having units, like refractive index, like refractive index. Okay, so It's not necessary. Okay, unit is not necessary. So refractive index is also a scalar quantity. It having only value like 1.5 or 1.6, 1.7 like that one. Its value. Understood? Okay. So next one, vector. Okay, vector means a physical quantity having both magnitude and direction, and that vector obeys the vector's laws of addition. Okay, laws of vector addition. Okay, simply that type of physical quantity is called as vector. Vector means it having both magnitude and direction, and also obeys the vector's laws of addition. Example for this one, example, displacement. Okay, displacement, velocity, acceleration, okay, force, etc. Okay, number of are there. Example, displacement, velocity, acceleration, force. That means these are having both magnitude and direction, and also obeys the vector's laws of addition, and also obeys the vector's laws of addition. Understood? Okay. Next, some of the physical quantities are having both magnitude and direction, but they are not vectors. Why? Okay, some of the physical quantities are having both magnitude and direction, but they are scalars. Why? Okay, some of the physical quantities having both magnitude and direction. Okay, but they are scalars. But they are scalars. Why they are scalars? Okay, some of the physical quantities having both magnitude and direction, but they are scalars means because of they don't obey the vector's laws of addition. Okay, they don't obey the vector's laws of addition. Okay, not obeying vector's laws of addition. Vector's laws of addition. The type of physical quantities are not obeys the vector's laws of addition. Example for that one is electric current. Okay, example for that one is electric current. See here, current through this wire I1, through this wire I2. Total current is I1 plus I2. Here this resultant is independent on this angle. Okay, this resultant is independent on this angle. So it is a scalar quantity. Some of the physical quantities are having both magnitude and direction, but they didn't obey the vector's laws of addition. Vector's laws of addition. Okay, that's why they are taken as a electric current. They are taken as a scalar quantities. Example for that one is electric current. Example for that one is electric current. Okay. So next one. To describe a vector quantity, we require main one, the specific unit of that quantity, the number of times that unit is contained in that quantity, the orientation of that quantity. Okay. See one example for this one. A plane is flying. Okay. With 50 meters per second from west to east. West to east. Understood? A plane is flying. Okay, with velocity 50 meters per second from west to east means here meter per second is the unit. Okay, 50 is the number of times that unit is contained, that quantity. Now here orientation means direction west to east. Direction west to east. Okay, now some of the physical quantities having different magnitudes in different directions, having different magnitudes in different directions. That type of physical quantities are called as tensors. That type of physical quantities are called as tensors. Understood? Okay. Some of the physical quantities are having different magnitudes in different directions. Okay. Different magnitudes in different directions. Such type of physical quantities are called as tensors. Example for that one is stress. Okay. Example for that one is stress. Understood? Okay. Now, some of the physical quantities, sometimes vectors, sometimes scalars. Okay, some of the physical quantities, some of the physical quantities, sometimes vectors. Okay, sometimes scalars. Sometimes vectors, sometimes scalars, some of the physical quantities. So, example for that one, angular displacement. Okay, angular displacements and area. Okay, smaller quantities of angular displacement or area vector. Larger quantities are scalar quantities. Okay, larger quantities are scalar quantities. Next one is how to represent the vector. How to represent the vector. Okay, how to represent the vector or representation of vector. Representation of vector. Okay, now usually vector is graphically represented with an arrow. Graphically it is represented with an arrow. Okay, so A is the initial point. A is the initial point. Okay, B is final point. It is represented with arrow. Okay, for example, it is vector. That vector is P. Simply it will write as P bar. Okay, A is the initial point. For example, one vector is P. One vector is P. Its initial point is A. Final point is B. From A to B. Okay, simply it is represented with P bar. That vector is represented with P bar. Okay, for example, displacement. Displacement represented with S bar. Velocity represented with V bar. Acceleration A bar. Force F bar. Like that one. Okay. So displacement, velocity, acceleration F. Like that one. P is one of the physical quantity, that is a vector that is represented with P bar. Initial point. Initial point here. Tail point. Understood? Tail point. B. Final point is head point. Final point is head point. That means vector direction from A to B here. Vector direction from here A to B. So P bar is equal to, you write as AB bar. P bar is equal to AB bar. Okay. It is vector notation. Magnitude of this P bar. Magnitude of P bar is simply mod of P bar or simply P. Mod of P bar or P represents the magnitude. Okay, represents the magnitude. Understood? Okay, mod of P bar or P represents the magnitude. Okay, so next. So next, vectors mainly classified into two types here. Polar vectors are real vectors. Axial vectors are pseudo vectors. So polar vector or real vector means, for example, you consider one vector. It is a bar, one vector. If in case this coordinate system is changes, but this vector is does not change. That vector is does not change. Okay. See, the vector whose direction does not change. Okay. like this one A bar. Okay, it is in coordinate system. Okay, the vector whose direction does not change even though the coordinate system in which it is defined changes is called polar vectors. Understood? For example, for that one, force, momentum, acceleration. But axial vector means here if coordinate system is changes automatically vector direction is changes. Okay, the vector whose direction changes with the coordinate system in which it is defined changes is called axial vector. Example, angular velocity, torque, angular momentum. Like for example, one particle rotate in anti-clockwise direction, direction is upwards. If rotating direction is changes means its direction is downwards. Its direction is downwards. Understood? In clock, in anti-clock, outward direction. In clockwise direction, in downward direction. That means if here system direction changes, okay, automatically this vector direction is changes. Okay, so for example, torque. Okay, so rotating along the direction of anti-clockwise. Okay, anti-clockwise. Torque direction is upwards. If this direction is changes, what about torque direction? Downwards. So that type of vectors are nothing but pseudo vectors. That type of vectors are nothing but pseudo vectors. Okay. If coordinate system is changes, but direction does not changes means real vectors. The vector is real vectors. Okay.